5% more pay. Ben is thrilled, and in that same second, he gets poorer. Not because anyone cheated him, because his brain is reading the wrong number. Here are two letters. One says, "We're cutting your pay." The other says, "We're raising your pay." One of them made Ben furious. The other one made him happy. Here's the catch. Both cost him exactly the same. Exactly the same. And it's not because he's bad at mental math. It's because your pay stub shows you one number, and a second one, far more important, that appears nowhere. You make this mistake too, by the way, every month. With every paycheck, every bank balance, every price tag. It even has a name, but that name won't help until you catch yourself doing it. Social Security payments went up this year. Wages went up too. And people keep saying the exact same thing. There's barely anything left at the end of the month. That's not a math error, and it's not a conspiracy. It's a gap between two numbers we mix up constantly. One is on your pay stub. The other isn't written down anywhere, and your brain only ever sees the first one. Let's watch Ben get this wrong. It's going to cost him an entire evening. Ben still has the letter in his hand when he makes up his mind. This calls for a celebration, and it's going to be the same place he celebrated with Mia last year. Same restaurant, same table by the window. Ben doesn't hold back. Exactly what they had back then. He remembers it clearly because it was such a good evening. The same two entrees, the same appetizers, the same bottle of wine. 5% is 5%, he tells Mia, tapping the menu. That's better than nothing. Mia nods and orders the same. She doesn't say anything else about it. She's just the only one at the table who brought more than a good mood. Then the check lands on the table. Ben looks at it. Looks again. $91. Last year it was $84 for exactly the same meal. He runs the numbers in his head, and something doesn't add up. He earns more this year, $140 more a month, exactly 5% of the $2,800 he earns each month. And still, this evening feels more expensive than the last one. Because it is. And Ben does what all of us do in that moment. He blames the check, the server, the restaurant. They really jacked up their prices. What he doesn't do, put the two numbers side by side, because that would mean that great-looking number from this morning is smaller than it looks. And before Mia pulls something out of her wallet, stop for a second. Two letters. One cuts his pay, one raises it. Which one would have made you angrier? And now Mia does something that flips the whole evening. She pulls an old receipt out of her wallet. Last year's. She keeps these. She puts it down next to the new one and says just one thing. Remember last year? Ben remembers. Last year a letter came too. It said his pay was being cut. A 3% cut. Ben was beside himself. He complained, he told his friends, he badmouthed his employer for weeks. Unfair, he thought. And now the two receipts are lying side by side. Back then, less pay, same prices. Today, more pay, higher prices. And in both cases, Ben can afford exactly one evening less at this restaurant than the year before. Once he raged. Once he celebrated. It was the same thing. But Ben isn't the fool in the room here. You can actually see this mistake in the brain. And it's there in almost all of us. This isn't just about one restaurant check. It's happening across the country right now. Social Security payments went up 2.8% this year, about $56 a month for the average retiree. For people still working, wages rose 3.5%. Then prices rose 3.5% too. After inflation, what's left of that raise is 0.1%. That's not my math. The Labor Department publishes it every month. And here's the part that isn't printed on the letter. In the same year, the standard Medicare premium went up $17.90 a month, For most retirees, that comes straight out of their Social Security check. So of those $56, nearly a third was gone before it ever arrived. So why don't we notice? Because your brain runs two calculations at once, and only one of them out loud. The loud one is the number printed on the page. 2,940. The quiet one is the question of what that number can actually buy, and the quiet one loses almost every time. That's not a character flaw, and now you get the name I owed you at the start, money illusion. You can even see it. Put people in a brain scanner and have them buy the exact same thing twice, once with bigger numbers on both the paycheck and the price tag, and the reward region responds more strongly to the bigger numbers. The brain celebrates the number, not what it can do. That's why lines like, "My balance has never been this high," are so comforting. It never has been. It just buys a little less every year. You see the same pattern everywhere whenever we talk about the past. 30 years ago, a star quarterback made a few million a year. Today, it's many times that. We call it crazy money, and part of it really is crazy, but part of it is simply money that's worth less, and almost nobody subtracts that part. And in case you think this is just Ben's problem, researchers actually put this question to people. First question. A company is barely getting by. The region is in a slump. It cuts wages by 7%. Prices aren't rising. Is that fair? 62% said it was unfair. Second question, different group, same company, same slump. It raises wages by 5%, but everything gets 12% more expensive. Is that fair? 78% said it was fine. Do the math. In both cases, people lose roughly the same purchasing power, about 7%, nearly the same loss. Outrage in one case, a shrug in the other. The bad news first. Knowing the inflation rate doesn't help. Researchers tested this. Whether people knew the inflation rate or estimated it correctly made no detectable difference. Knowledge alone doesn't turn the illusion off. What helps is a different question. Next time a number goes up, your pay, your benefits, your bank balance, don't ask how much more. Ask how much more of what. Subtract inflation. What's left is your real raise. Sometimes that's still a plus. Sometimes it's zero. And sometimes it's a minus with a smile painted on it. Ben enjoyed the evening anyway, by the way. He has picked up one habit since then. He keeps his receipts. What about you? When was the last time a bigger number made you feel richer, even though it didn't buy you any more? Tell me in the comments.